Welcome to Bleachers and Speakers. I'm your host, June, and I want my partner, Foster, to just breathe now. Breathe. Got a final. Lions win. Was it 31-23?
Yes, they won for
Thirty-one
two.
twenty-three over Tampa Bay. They advance to the NFC Championship. How about that, Foster?
Hey,
You seem a little reserved, though. I mean, hey. Ah!
but nah, man, nah. Oh, it feels good. It feels good. It feels
Cam,
good.
Cam, Cam. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it.
Woo!
We are going to get into it. Corey says that pick on Baker was yes.
Has he ever caught a ball before? Like,
Barnes? Pause.
bro,
Yeah.
he caught that like Saint Brown. Was that
Yeah.
Saint
Yeah.
Barnes or Saint Brown out there?
Yeah. Yeah. It was a game sealing interception. It was I for some odd reason I wasn't concerned with them going 90 yards in that
No,
amount of time.
yeah. And then the
But
go for two. I mean, granted, we would all be defecating ourselves if it came down to going for two, but it would have been a tough feat.
it
It
would have
would.
been yeah, pretty sure. I mean, regardless of how you want to look at the defense as far as pass coverage, I just didn't think they'd go 90 yards with a minute and 50 with no timeouts.
And
So
no, and then you don't have to. Well, not that it really matters, but no threat of having to worry about. Oh, are they going to run the ball? Is this
no,
play action going to
no.
turn into? It gets a little
They ain't had no
tricky.
time to run. They couldn't afford to run the ball or take a sack. So that was two things that was I was like, they can't run the ball, they can't take a sack. Uh, yeah. So I think there was a blitz that last play and he kind of threw it up there. Yeah. Because the
Yeah,
pressure was on.
there was some in it. I think Kaminsky got to him.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, Foster,
I had a
there's
little
something.
tightness in my chest for a second. I'm like this is the way I was screaming. I'm glad my neighbors downstairs are gone because oh boy.
Let me ask you something. Did you yell in frustration about Mr. Sutton?
Um, it's more disappointment than anything.
Yeah.
But um, yeah, I mean yeah, it's
He
the last drive. It's like that was kind of prevent, big
for
chunks,
sure.
you know, um,
It was
and
a
then
drive. It was the drive before half that really, really frustrated me.
yeah, yeah, and I can't remember exactly what was happening, but
He
I'm
gave up
probably
two
right.
pass plays to get it inside the five. Two big pass plays.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when it comes down to it, he's just not a number
He's not
one
a number one corner.
guy.
No.
I don't want to keep giving excuses that like, well, he played Evans, he played Lamb, he
I was going to
played
say that,
Jefferson.
Foster. Like, how long are we going to say? Well, he played against the number one receiver. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Come on, bro.
yeah. And Vildor was kind of cooking out there.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't dare say throw Vildor on
No.
Evans.
No. No. No.
And Sutton made some tackles out there, like even on the offsides play that where Branch went offsides and it was a wide receiver screen.
Yeah.
He came up there. He's a solid tackler. He's just not a number one guy. You put your number one versus him, and it's an edge. No, 90% of the time.
Well, there's things you can do though. I mean, get a man some help over there. There's some
I
things which
mean,
the other corners will be vulnerable, but before I
it's yeah, it's ideal, but when you're when these packages are four wide receivers wide, you can't just say, all right, well, I'm gonna just give you got tight ends and you got Otten. Otten was balling the last two games.
yeah. The thing is, it's more than just safety help. Like you can back off, back off, play more zone, disguise your zone, run a blitz, in front of the zone. It's different things. The Lions just don't have that number one cover corner. We just don't have it. We don't.
They damn near have everything else though. When you really think about it though.
They got a good safety play. They have a good nickel. Um,
Pass
decent
rush did
decent
what
linebackers.
yeah, the blitz, yeah.
So, um, hey man, Iffy, pay that man. Pay Iffy.
Yeah. That's
Pay him.
how many sacks
He-
he got? 4 now?
yeah, he would have had. Did they count that second one as a sack?
Yeah, probably
Because
a
he
half a
actually
sack. Probably half.
because he actually got him the first time, but he got away. But he got up and almost got him again. I think he had a sack and a half today.
Maben assisted on one of them.
That was the second one I was talking about, where
Yeah.
he actually he actually had the quarterback in his grasp and he got away. Baker got away, but then he got hit again. But he actually got off the ground and helped get him down the second time. So it was
Yeah.
him and Maven with the second sack.
And Mayfield evaded a couple situations where they literally backed his own offensive lineman
Mhm.
into his lap, and he was just able to. And then they botched the call on the suppose it was supposed to be a sack, and
That
he
was a
didn't
sack, man.
challenge.
That was a
So
sack.
when you factor in those things, I mean, we know it's an offensive league and how tough it is to play corner. I don't like I said, I don't know. People are just so quick to just be like, "Ah, Cam Sutton's the worst thing ever." But Cam still had to make some plays down the stretch to stop him. We still only gave up 23 points, and the 23 was because of 23 is a kind of a lot, but the, the like I said, the prevent defense when we were up 2 touchdowns, you take that with a grain of salt.
Right.
But yeah,
You have a play. Jody wants to know who's the player of the game.
I feel like you got to go with Jared Goff.
You know, he spread the ball around pretty good. Um, Jared Goff's numbers was 30 of 43, 287 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a passer rating of 103.5. Now,
No interceptions,
no
no
interceptions,
fumbles.
no turnovers. And then if you look at it, Jahmyr Gibbs had 9 carries, 74 yards. Montgomery had 10 carries, 33 yards. And on the top receivers were St. Brown. He had 8 catches for 77 yards. Laporta had 9 catches for 65 yards.
Ooh, 9.
Yeah, it's pretty. He had a lot of short catches, 3 or 4 yarders, but it's safe to say I would say golf. I would say golf
Right.
on offense.
Don't forget to mention that Reynolds scored that touchdown.
Yeah,
That was on 4th down. That was huge.
yeah, that was a touch. That was his. Let's see. Hold on. Let me make sure I got it right.
That was huge. One
Josh
for
had two
one.
catches for 27 yards. That one would be in a touchdown on 4th down. So I'm not mad at golf being player of the game. Do
He
you have a
never
player?
gets 300. It's always 280.
Yeah, Baker wasn't going down easy. Uh,
Pause.
Jody says they mess up a big call for us every week.
I don't be wanting to feel that way, but yeah.
Yeah,
That was huge. That was huge. They
yeah,
scored the next play. Granted, they would have had another opportunity, but they would have been pushed back some. That was
yeah.
a screen. That was a screenplay, right?
Mm-hmm. But Foster, remember when I inboxed you and I said, score was 10-10, and I said, they gotten away from the run. They need to run the ball.
That was huge.
They need to run the ball, and they're going to score this drive. And
You didn't say
boom,
that part, did you?
go. It's on. I can upload the
Okay, maybe
screenshot
I
on
missed
the
it because
screen.
sometimes I avoid the messages because I don't want to be ahead and shit. So
I don't
sometimes
mind. I don't mind that. Spoilers don't bother me. I can put the
you don't mind
screenshots up.
spoilers. Oof,
No, I don't. No, I don't.
I do.
I don't.
I don't mind them, but I don't know.
How you watch, like, for instance, every Thursday, I think I want to say every Friday morning, people on Facebook telling everything that happened in Power or Raising
That doesn't
Canaan.
bother you?
Nah, I'm used to it.
What? I
If
don't
it
watch
did,
Power, so I don't care. But
if it did, I wouldn't even get on Facebook
yeah, you wouldn't be
because
able
they
to.
because they tell it.
Yeah,
Look, anytime there's check it out. Not to go off on a tangent, but anytime there's an award show or like, for instance, award show, you ain't got to watch it. Go down your timeline. They'll tell you who's performing, who
yeah,
won the award. It's just what it is.
yeah, yeah,
So when you inbox me and you a couple of plays ahead or a play ahead, it doesn't bother me.
yeah,
I just let you know you're ahead of me. So I expect something when I get a from you, like, okay,
yeah.
you
But
know what I'm
even
saying?
then, it's that's discreet though. At least it leaves you the something happened, but you
Oh,
don't
it
know
could be
what.
bad, it could be good. So I
Yeah.
knew something happened. I didn't know
Nah, the
exactly what.
eye is always good. That's always like me yelling in like excitement.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah. So hold
it'll be. Oh, I almost said it. It'll be like the F word if something bad
on.
happens.
Hold on. I gotta send them. I hate when my peoples call me when I'm doing a show.
On the show.
Like, you're not watching?
Yeah, I want to be. I'd be on their head like that. Lets me know you ain't, because I know you wouldn't do that
Mm.
any other time.
Yeah, Jody says, spoilers suck when you know what happened, but guessing don't bother me. I mean, the thing is, he didn't yell Foster didn't yell touchdown or
Nah, I never
fumble or
do that.
anything like that.
Yeah,
It was just like a yell. And it was like, ain't no telling what that is. But Laporta got us downfield by himself, and he didn't get the touchdown. That was one drive where
one drive.
they
Yeah.
kept going to him and going to him.
One of them, he was just like wide. Always like y'all just not gonna.
Yeah,
Y'all just not gonna guard him at all. The Tampa Bay was beat down by the end of the game. They were.
yeah, for sure. And it seemed like for the most part, Detroit was in control of the game most of the game. It wasn't until right before half where there was some doubt. Like, wait a minute now, come on.
You talking
Ma-
about even when it was 10-10, you felt in control
No, no, no.
before
Right
that,
up until it, because they scored right before half. It was 10-3 for a long time.
right? Yeah,
And it was just like, okay, didn't you give up the drive right before half to make it 10-10, and they get the ball. So it's like,
right.
come
They
on,
got
man.
the ball.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
we
like,
always
come
seem
on,
to
bro.
score first. We usually throw the first punch.
Yeah.
Oh, because yeah, the game started 3-0.
Yeah.
Started off on field.
Now, usually when I'm gonna say this, usually when the Lions, if they get the ball first and they go right down the field, that offense is it seems like the offense is gonna be clicking all day. That first
Yeah,
drive kind of tells it all. And it's
that
like,
that near interception though definitely rattled us because we ran after that. We were like, all
ooh,
right, that ball was in his hands.
he dropped it. It was in the end zone too. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
take the three. Take your
Take
three,
the
bro.
three. We
Take
just
your three,
gone.
bro.
Well, we didn't. I mean, we had yeah one, but the run it was and it took a lot because I had kind of I don't want to say I gave up on the run, but you saw how we got away from it.
Yeah.
Um,
The thing about a team that stops the run,
mhm.
a team that stops the run, you still got
Keep
to
them
keep them
honest.
honest with it. And I think
Exactly.
they stopped with it a little too quick. But when they got right back to it, because it wasn't like they were just totally Gibbs was gashing them on the edge in the first half. And it
Early.
was like I can't say that what LFG means, but Gibbs got live. Jake Hill says Gibbs got live at the end. Yeah.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
He had
And you know
one
what,
like
boss?
that 30-yard run. It was like, ooh.
You know what I'm thinking?
Mm.
I'm like, did they just kind of wait until the second half and say, okay, let's
I
put
mean,
Gibbs in?
I think Johnson definitely has another bag he gets into for
Yeah.
sure. because he draws up some work.
And you have to think about, even the announcer said Tampa Bay didn't see this the first game. They didn't see Gibbs, and he was on a couple of plays, even past the pass plays. He was wide open.
Those drop offs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Him in
wide open.
space is just so dangerous. I would hate to be playing against him and having to be like, once he gets going, it's like, where is he gonna stop?
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. You'll be surprised who called me in the middle of my show like they didn't know.
Mm-mm-mm.
Check your inbox though. Check
Oh,
your
okay.
inbox. I hope he watches this. I hope he watches this. Jake Hill. Jake Hill says
He ran the
he
he
ran
ran
the
the right.
right
Go ahead,
delayed
go ahead.
drag that we won against the Jets with big play. Yeah, he got those. I, I think that I don't know if the defender fell after or he shrugged him off, but he got like 15 extra yards after that catch.
You talking about Brock Wright?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was running so slow, boy. Whew.
yeah. Jody, that was Hank. That was
No, you
Hank.
you let it off.
Yeah, I'm putting it out there, bro. But he's not watching my show. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Do your. Let's start there.
For those who don't know, Hank is my business partner and brother. He's not watching my show. He called me in the middle of it. Hey, it is
When
what
the
it is.
game just ended, he already man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Hey, but look, I got my supporters right here, so I am good. I ain't tripping at all. I got quite a few people in the chat. Got Jake here, Jody here, a couple other people that's watching, and I appreciate y'all. But we're gonna get to a quick break. Don't go nowhere. 15 seconds. I swear, unless you're listening, and then you got to hear about 4 ads. But be right back. Yeah, Jody, shut up. And I'm not putting up that post or that comment. No.
Now I gotta see what he said.
Yeah. It was... Jake Hill says the ads can't stop this vibe, boys. I mean, hey, Foss, I want everybody that's listening enjoy this win. And I'm not saying it's going to be the last, but this is an achievement in itself. And I'm not saying be satisfied, but if you look at all the things that if you've been a fan of this organization or this football team, and you've seen the rigors of the seasons that go by in the past, enjoy this one. Enjoy this one. Take it 1 week at a time. Don't worry about the next game until like Thursday. Enjoy this for a few days.
Right.
I mean, me and you I'm just saying, what I'm saying. I saw a post on Facebook immediately after the game from a Lions fan that said, well, it was good while it lasted. We got Frisco next week. Like, what?
I knew it was gonna be some bull. I just knew it. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. Hey, Jody asked what's our record now, and I'm gonna say, respectfully, it doesn't matter, bro. The
It
records go
sounds
out.
good though. It sounds good when envisioning
We ended
it.
12-5. We in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they don't even really count it past the
nah,
playoffs.
they don't.
You're 0-0. That's what your record is.
Well, you're 2-0 in the playoffs,
2-0
and
in the playoffs, but it's 0-0 because the next loss means everything.
Jody Joe says we've been counted out on plenty of games that we won. Yeah. I mean, you remember, Foster, what game was that? After Thanksgiving, there were people that said Lions wouldn't win another game this season.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. It.
I'm sure it was out of pure frustration from losing that game,
I think they really felt that way because
but
we had stubbed our toe pretty tough.
well, if you think about it, you go against Chicago the week before.
Mhm.
I think you was that when
We won, but
you barely won.
yeah,
You stumble through that game. You face Green Bay at home on Thanksgiving,
on a
kind of get
shorter
embarrassed.
week. Mhm, mhm.
And there were fans saying, won't win another game. After that, you had Chicago again, you had Minnesota twice, you had Denver, and you
Yeah,
had Dallas. And
Dallas.
there were people thinking you're not going to win another game.
Was
You're
the
going to
Saints
lose.
game
No, that was
Saint?
before.
That was before Thanksgiving.
That was before.
Okay.
That was before.
Whew, yeah,
I think,
I feel like that was one of the bounce back games though.
yeah, I missed. You know what? That's crazy because I missed that game. But you were telling me because you was like, "This is too easy. We're
Oh,
up
that's the
28
one where
nothing."
you, oh, December 3rd. It was is that the next game?
After
Especially
Thanksgiving.
you, coach. Yeah, yeah, it was December 3rd, so it was definitely after Thanksgiving. Because that was one of because we knew that the Saints weren't that good, but we also were withering about where we, when we were gonna, not if, but when we were gonna bounce back and get back on the right track.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, the Saints game was in there too.
Do you have a defensive player in the game? Because I can't recall.
I say iffy. If he had the 1.5, 2 sacks, um,
I would say Iffy or Branch because Branch had a very good game as well.
yeah, kind of quietly. What did he really do?
He had a sack. He had a
Oh,
tackle
he
for
did have a
loss.
sack. You're right. You're right.
He had
You're right.
another tackle for loss. I think they called that back. I think I'm not sure.
Something
He was
happened.
all over the place for a minute though. They called his
He
name a
also
few
jumped
times.
off sides on the
Yeah,
blitz. But
safety.
no, but if he broke up that 2 point conversion on Evans too,
If he did, yeah.
which didn't really make a difference. But I mean, who was stopping Evans at that point?
Jake Hill says Branch played a real good game. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jake says he's out, man. I appreciate you for stopping by, Jack. Jake. We got to get back to the kids, man.
Yeah. What was I gonna say?
Hutch had a monstrous sack in the first half. Was that
Yeah.
the first half where he double pumped? He
Oh,
was
the
supposed.
reverse. It was either late in the first half or in the second,
Yeah,
or early in the second half.
I thought he actually was going to throw the ball, but he just pump faked and he got decked. I tell you what, uh, Mayfield got heart.
Yeah.
He's got heart. He's got heart, and he has a strong arm. He
Ripped
zipped
a
a
few.
few in there. Like, man, how did what?
Mhm.
So yeah,
Branch had 8 tackles.
yeah. Branch was all over the place, bro.
If
I
he
mean,
had six.
he might have had the offside,
Yeah,
but
that
yeah.
wasn't.
Did they
Mm.
score that drive? I can't remember.
No, on that one, I don't believe so.
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, they did, Foster, because
Did they?
you sent me an inbox after like what the I think they scored on that drive.
They
That
might
drive
have.
and that was at the very beginning of the drive. Like they had 2 plays and they got 2 penalties back to back to give them
Yeah,
the
it
first
was
down.
early, so I can't
Yeah.
remember what happened after that.
Yeah, I think so. I think they scored on that drive. But for the most part, it looked like Detroit controlled the game for the most part. They controlled
I
the game.
mean, we never trailed the entire game. There's
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Jody says, speaking of heart, Ragnow. Man. Look here, man. If you saw how he got hurt, this
Yeah,
happens
that
to
was
linemen all the time, and a lot of
all the
times
time.
they get out the game, they're done for the day. He got his leg rolled up on from behind him.
By another big guy.
And and when you don't see it, that's when it's the worst, you
because
know.
you can't brace for it.
Yeah, and I think he went out for one play or maybe one series, but he was back out there. He gutted it out. Ragnar got a lot of heart, and it's a big difference when he's playing center than the backup. That offensive line is totally different when all the horses are up front. It's crazy. We gotta we do have to look a little bit forward though.
Why is that?
Well, there was a game played last night, Green Bay versus Frisco,
Yes, there was. There was.
and I want to say nobody. The only team that looks invincible to me is Baltimore right now. That's all I'm saying. And they had a slow first half, had an incredible second half, but that's the only team that kind of worries me. I'm not scared of Frisco. I don't think Brock Purdy is all world, and I think Debo is fragile. Hopefully, he
Yeah, one could only hope, right?
hopefully he won't play Saturday next week. Richard Bostler asks, has Amon Ross St. Brown reached superstar status? He has in my book.
To us, yeah, isn't that what matters?
Yeah. I mean, you have 1,500 yards receiving in a year.
And counting, yeah, you know.
Yeah, so,
These count the most.
yeah.
He never really disappears when the lights are bright. He stands up when it's time
Now,
to make
Foster,
something happen.
he didn't have a lot of yards per se today, but he had some key first downs, some key ones, some key pickups on first down to make it second and short. And it's a big difference when you're going into second down when you're not second and 10 or second and 9. You know what I'm saying? And it's like he gets quiet, then all of a sudden, boom, big catch. That 3rd and 15 was a big first down conversion. And he got stopped short of the sticks. And you know, after the catch, he made the first down.
And he had the one where his elbow hit and he crossed and it ended up coming back, but um, had his elbow not gone down, that was another play
Yeah.
where he just that second effort is what got him by. So
There's a rule that worked against the Lions back in the day where they lost a game. That's when the refs, and this happened today, the refs under 2 minutes, the refs, let's say they blew a call and it's a 10-second runoff if you don't have a
and
timeout,
did the
right?
game end on that?
There was a game that ended back in the day against the Lions where the refs blew a call. It was the Lions ball. Lions didn't have any timeouts. They were
I think
they were on the goal line. And by rule, 10-second runoff, game was over.
if that was within my
It
area,
was. It
yeah,
was.
I think I can't remember
It
who
was
we
it was
played or what was going on, but yeah,
Yep,
I
it was one
remember.
of those things where I said this stuff always happens to the line because it's like that. Those kind of things happen, and today that happened. It just wasn't. It was just both teams had a timeout. It wasn't
Yeah.
very detrimental, but that rule needs to be looked at. You can't penalize a team for the ref messing up or botching a call.
Yeah. I mean, I understand where it comes from because obviously, if you don't go out of bounds, um, but don't they give you, but they give you an option. That's why you got to hold your timeouts because had they had a timeout, they could have used one then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because yeah, in that situation, Brown uh, was able to get out of bounds. So the fact that he technically went down before going out of bounds, you have to let something run off, right? There's no
Yeah,
way no time runs off.
yeah.
So
But
I get it. You have to
it
do
just
something.
but that's a case. But what happens if you like it happened before where you're out of timeouts
And you
and
didn't have one to use when you landed inbounds. So that time was going to run off.
well, back in the day, the the mark off, the call was favorable to the Lions. Like actually the call was botched. It was the Lions should have gotten a spot and they messed up the call. So when they corrected the call, it's still a 10-second runoff. And it ended the
Mm.
game.
Yeah, yeah, that was those were
The
some dark
penalty does
times.
stop a clock. Jody asks, does the penalty stop the clock? It does unless it's under 2 minutes. The rule is it's either a 10-second runoff or a timeout by either team. Either team can call a timeout. So that's the rule.
Yeah.
Under 2 minutes, you know what I'm saying?
Because other than under 2 minutes, it's just a regular. It's just a trivial. It's more trivial unless it's in under 2 minutes. Then we know it's crunch time and it means something. It doesn't mean anything in second quarter with 10 minutes left. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool until it costs you the game.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Then
and sometimes
you're gonna fuss about the ruling like I did. You know, if it costs you a game, you're gonna fuss about it. If not, then it is what it is.
for sure.
Boss, can you talk a little bit? You said in the inbox about Aaron Glenn. What's your thoughts on Aaron Glenn?
I think that I think he's done a great. I think he's done a great job. I feel like to an extent, you do have to depend on your personnel to get the job done. I think that we've seen some very rough weeks in the mid to late. I think that we've done well at the end of the year, but I think in the mid to from like Thanksgiving on, I feel like I've seen a difference
Mhm.
in our play. I think the people's favorite word, adjustments, were definitely made. We've gotten to the quarterback a lot more. We've caused way more turnovers, and we've got key stops in times where it was put up or shut up. Either we make it happen or we lose the game, and we've gotten those stops. And whoever's idea it was, or whoever started drawing up plays for Iffy to start blitzing, they need a bonus out of this world because he has made all the difference in coverage, in run stop, uh, in pass rushing.
Pay that man.
He it's yeah, and we were able to weave CJ Gardner Johnson back into the fold. He's had 2 interceptions in out of what 4 games this year,
Yeah.
and yeah, we've held things together with Kendall Vildor as our number 2 cornerback for the last um
Yeah.
5 games, maybe.
Mhm.
But you gotta you and I'm not talking about you specifically, but the praise has to be just as loud when things are going well
Absolutely.
as the I won't say slander, as the
Yeah.
the negative whatever when things were not going, because I don't see the same energy being put towards the positivity as a whole. So they'll never forget it as long as they're listening to me,
No.
because hey, I think whereas the outside people may not recognize, I genuinely think the people that are voting him as a top coordinator, I think the players on Detroit and around the league, I think they understand more so what we don't see. So,
Yeah.
not kudos to him. We are one game away from the Super Bowl. Like, think about that,
When last time you said that? When
bro.
have you ever
Never.
said that?
I could never say that. I could never say that. And this, I don't want to get too much into it, but San Fran ain't all that. They're just not. They're just, bro. They were very close to it. They were a couple hair harebrained throws from Jordan Love away from losing that game and us having a home game with the Packers, only the Packers in front of us, um, in between us in a Super Bowl. Like, it almost really got like that. Love had to literally fall apart for the other to happen. So,
Yeah.
but we in there. We in there.
Now, do you remember when uh, Dallas won the game and we had the NFC North show that Wednesday, and Dave said that loss cost you millions of dollars playoff money because not only will you not get the second round, I mean, number 2 seed, uh, you're going to miss uh, your home games in the playoffs that generates money for the city. And that's when I got upset, right?
Yeah, I was like, "Ooh, okay, he that hit, that hit."
But if you look at it now, how it played out, you still got the home games you would have gotten with the second seed.
Yes.
There was no way you were getting the first seed.
No.
We can only play.
Although I think with the Niners losing to the Rams, had we won, now granted they would have played their starters,
They would have played their starters for the number 1 seed.
and maybe the Rams would have too, because the Rams didn't play Stafford and Kyron Williams and Cup
Yeah. Yeah.
and Nakua played, but he had a record to break. But ah, maybe the
I
Rams win that
still
game.
think the way that Frisco was playing with that momentum, they would have been a tough team to beat.
Have they had, and I can't argue that because I have no idea what led up to that game. But if so, maybe you're right. But nobody had more momentum than the Rams, though.
They were 4-3 at one point.
Okay, so they had to ramp up at some point.
They lost 3 games in a row early,
Right.
and they
And then they
didn't
got
lose
the
anymore. They went on a tear. They lost the last game of their regular season
yeah,
because they benched their starters. Now, a few of those games they didn't have Debo as well, but
which
they still
is
won.
and they still won.
Yeah. Whenever Brock played after that, Brock didn't hasn't lost a game since the earlier stuff. But like you said, they don't look as scary as people were saying. I mean, we had a puncher's chance.
I think it's more than that.
Smog F87 says L's in San Francisco. Foster, when do the Cowboys play? Just curious.
Who cares?
If
Who cares?
who is that, Foster?
That's coach, man. That's
Oh
coach.
wow, he's Philly.
That's why Jay came in and slandered him before he didn't get around.
Coach says good stuff this year from the pod. Looking for a bigger 2024-25. Yes.
You already
Hey, we
know.
got a lot of good stuff going on. This is not the end of it. You will hear more from us, me and
Can
Foster.
you imagine a Super Bowl edition? Bleachers to speakers.
Oh, boy, no.
Ooh.
Richard Foster says, I think Green Bay outplayed the 49ers. I think they did. They just made a couple of mistakes.
Just didn't finish it.
Just
That's
didn't
all.
finish. Just didn't finish. They had them, though. They had them.
That's why you don't depend on those guys.
Yeah. Mm. Let's see. Motown Sports 89 says, I'd be scared if they were undefeated, but they're not. They need to play smart football. We could do it. Definitely. Definitely.
We've
It
been
can be
taking
done.
care of that ball. Knock on wood. We've been taking care of that ball. We're not we're not shooting ourselves in the foot. We're not committing a ton of terrible penalties. Like we're a well coached team.
Yeah.
So they gonna get everything, and we have the veteran savvy. We got CJ said they didn't. CD said they didn't bring me here to win a playoff game. They brought me here to win the Super Bowl. I want to say he said win, but maybe he said get us to the Super Bowl. But let's he's right. He's right because he's been there before.
Coach says Foster is homie for life. Keep it up. Supporting y'all regardless of who I wrote for. Local support and low. Hey, we appreciate it, Coach. We definitely
Dog.
do. Um, yeah, we definitely need all the support we can get, and we appreciate everybody that checks us out. Um, hold on, let's get to another break real quick, and we'll come back and wrap this up. Now, from my understanding, both games will be played Sunday, right?
I have no let me see because they already put up the future game Sunday at 6:30. Yeah, so I would guess so. I would guess so.
So
Obviously the other game hasn't even
early.
been probably, but it hasn't been solidified and all that. So
No,
they wouldn't
this is
have
going to be solidified.
they might have the potential they might have the potential like verse, to be determined part
I
of it,
think
but
I think the way it plays out has probably had to do with the weather. They want to play early as opposed to late. They want to fight darkness and any kind of weather conditions.
darkness.
I don't know. I'm just assuming. Either
No, no,
either
no.
that
You're
or they're more or NFL is more intrigued with the lines in Frisco playing a more closer to prime time game than
plus that's in San Francisco, so that's
3
3:30 their
hours
time.
behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
That's
couldn't.
true.
They certainly couldn't play at one
That's true.
our time.
That's true. That plays a lot in it because we do have to travel to California. Got to be able to let's talk about some of the keys to the next game, Foster. And um, I'm pretty sure we're going to do we have to do a preview show. Like
Yeah,
there's no getting around it.
yeah,
We have
yeah,
to do a
yeah.
preview show. But I think the key is we have to stop McCaffrey.
Oh my God! You knew exactly. You knew exactly what I was gonna say.
We
That
have
dude is
to
insane.
we have to stop McCaffrey. We cannot turn the ball over. I seen some things that Green Bay was able to do versus Frisco. They were able to move the ball. They were able to run the ball.
Yeah, Aaron
Aaron
Jones.
Jones went crazy.
I found out yesterday he went to El Paso. That's where my brother went. I mean, that's where
Wow.
my brother coaches now at El Paso.
I'm about to look up his stat line real quick because I need to see how many yards he ran for. He ran for it was 108, but it was only on 18 carries. He was able to run the ball.
Yeah.
So if he can do it, Gibbs can do it too.
Jones has been tough though. He had 100 plus yards on
Yeah.
Dallas as well.
He's been he's been a good runner. Always. He's always been a
Six
good
yards
runner.
per carry. Oof.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah. But that doesn't matter. They lost. I got distracted for again because I started looking at the receiver numbers like, oh, but we don't have to face them. Thank God. I'm telling you, oh yeah.
You want to read this from Coach?
He says, so coach said he knows I'm in a group of officials, so I'm gonna do what I can, amigo. Sunday fun day.
For sure, man.
Nobody stops him. Force Purdy into two turnovers, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we've been taking the ball away. We took the ball away twice today. And one to clinch the game. And yeah, we've been taking care of the ball and taking it away. I don't know if we take away the ball at all. Who we play? The Rams. I don't think we didn't
I
we
don't
didn't
think
get
they
the
turned the
stuff.
ball over.
No,
Stafford didn't throw any picks.
nope. Fumble. So but we yeah, Purdy's good, but he wasn't Mr. Irrelevant for nothing.
Yeah.
He had some weaknesses.
Yeah. I mean, look, ball control is everything in this next game. We don't turn the ball over. If we're able to run, there's a real strong chance you can go to San Francisco and get a victory
And then Vegas.
in Vegas. Foster, are you going to Vegas if they
No,
make the Super Bowl? You might. I mean, you don't have to go to the game, but the
of
ambiance,
course. It's $1 billion probably to catch a flight on
probably
the
the stay.
whim
Them
2 weeks
hotel rooms is
before.
gonna go up, up. Probably
To
like
breathe
six
to
hundred dollars a
breathe
night.
the air in Vegas during that time.
Six
It's
hundred
gonna
dollars a
be
night, I guarantee it. On the strip,
ah,
on the strip, $600 a night, I guarantee it.
at the cheapest joint.
At the cheapest joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be dope though. To go to Vegas that weekend and like catch the game in one of the sports arenas down there or one of the sports bars in the casino.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
would
because
be
you
lit.
can post up once you're there, yeah.
That would be super lit. Well, I'll be in the confines of my own home. But first things first, got to take care of business.
We
And
got ahead of ourselves here. Woo.
yeah. I mean, it's okay to, think big, you got to do what you got to do.
Manifestation, right?
Right. Is there anybody else on the team that you're concerned about from Frisco?
Um, the IU guy is pretty good. George Kittle is
What
pretty tough.
scares me about that is not Ayuk. It's
Yeah,
Sutton. Sutton
and
covering
Sutton.
Ayuk.
Hey, hey,
But
Sutton. Yeah. I mean,
Kittles
how did
was
I got to look at Evans' numbers here? Let's look at Evans' numbers because
look at Evans now.
something tells me he didn't have a Jefferson type game.
No.
What's his name? What's the Jefferson guy?
Justin.
Justin Jefferson. He didn't have that type. Mm,
Yes, he did.
he got it.
Yes, he
He
did.
got it. 100
You
plus,
kidding
100
me?
plus. He had 100
Almost
plus.
150, bro. That ain't no
Yeah.
100 plus.
Hey,
109, what was it? 8 catches, 147 yards.
but you have to grade that on a scale of in this day and age where they're putting up 300, 400, 300 yards passing is not a like crazy anomaly now. So 147 is like 100 now. I'm splitting hairs, but still,
Foster. I'm gonna
it's catered to the offense though. It is catered to the offense. We know this.
yeah, but it's like, let's say for instance, he spread it around a little more, right?
That's where it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
He
Let's say
Evans
let's
was
say
really the
Evans
only
had
person that could
90
throw it.
yards, but Godwin had 60 something yards. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow, he had 350 on the. He did kind of he
Yeah.
did kind of
Baker,
blow it up.
he kinda
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
yeah.
That's really the only. It's crazy that he had 349 yards because the next highest yardage was 65. Okay, somebody got 40, 36, 32. Okay, it, that's kind of that seemed
He did
numbers
spread
wise.
it
That seems
around.
like
He did
you said
spread it
what?
around. Mike
Yeah, he
Evans
did.
is just, but you have to remember though, 10 seasons, 1,000 yards receiving
Yeah,
every
that dude
season.
could be going into the hall. Yeah, he's never had
Oh, he's
60.
definitely a Hall of Famer. I
Yeah,
don't think anybody has done that. 10 straight seasons with 1,000 yards.
I'll venture to say Moss or Jerry Rice probably did that.
Jerry Rice was not very good in his first couple seasons.
Yeah, but
You,
10 straight. He played for a while. He played for the Raiders and
no,
all
I'm
that.
talking about like, okay, not for 10 seasons. I'm talking about your first 10 doing that.
The first thing, yeah, he was good from day one.
Yeah, he's had 10 seasons. Every year he's played at for 10 straight seasons, he's had 1,000 yards. And I don't think nobody has done it.
Texas A&M. That's where Josh Reynolds went to.
I remember when he was at Tech, he tortured Alabama one year by
Did he play
by
with
himself. He played with my man.
Manziel?
Huh?
Manziel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He torched them that year. That's when I
That,
first knew about him. He torched them that year.
that's a
Jody,
nice little lineup there.
yeah, Jody said that's dope. Yeah, I think Texas A&M upset them with Johnny Football.
They beat Johnny Football beat Alabama. Well, you know what?
Yes, he did.
Alabama wasn't really Bama
Yes, they
then.
were.
10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Yes, they were, bro.
Mm,
Foster,
mm.
I was living in Alabama in 2008, 2009. That's when they started to turn it around.
Okay, that was the beginning.
That was the beginning.
That was the beginning. Because
That was the beginning.
I remember in the early 2000s, they were like
Trash.
trash.
They were trash in 2007, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Nick Saban got there in 2008. They had or seven. They had a mediocre season, and then it went up ever since then.
Yeah. I believe it.
Yeah, I was there. Look, I'm gonna tell you something about Alabama, bro. Their football, we have nothing over the way they as fans as they approach football.
Yeah. Well,
Nothing,
Texas.
nothing over. Every car in the city of Birmingham has a flag on it. It either says Alabama or Auburn.
Or Auburn.
Every single car. If they're, I'm not gonna say every, but 90% of the cars are riding around with one of those. I was living in Alabama. I'm gonna tell you this story. I was living in Alabama, and my son-in-law had bought me a jersey. You know, just because he worked at the store where they sold them, he bought me. It was an Auburn jersey. I wore the jersey and I'm not an Auburn fan at all.
Oh, it was an Auburn jersey. Okay,
Yeah,
keep going.
I'm taking out the trash. I'm walking to the trash can. Roll Tide! Looking
Took my
around.
chain. Like, whoa.
So later on that day, I go to U-Haul to get some boxes because we were moving. And this 80-year-old lady turned around while we were in line and looked me up and down like this. Roll Tide. And I said, hey, I don't want no smoke.
You still had the jersey on?
Yeah, I don't want
I'm,
no smoke. This is
I might have took it off after the drive-by.
my son gave me this shirt. Hey, black lady behind me tapped me on my shoulder. She about 70. Can I get a War Eagle? Now that's Auburn's
That's
Roll
theirs.
Tide.
That's it.
So I was like,
You gonna stand up for
I'm in
yourself,
the
big dog?
I'm in the middle of this. Still like, hold on, y'all gonna get up off me now.
Because a real Auburn, authentic, true, they would have barked back with that. But you was like,
Man, what,
it's my
bro?
jersey. I don't know.
Look, the first time I heard War Eagle is my homie had on a shirt. He had on an Auburn shirt. He was pumping gas. This guy walked up. He said, "Can I get a War Eagle?" And I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, you
I
know
start,
what's
I
going
start
on.
patting. I thought he was asking for a quarter. I'm like, oh, hold on, let me see what I got. Let's see what I got here. Now,
Oh, can I get
and my
let me
boy,
hold some.
yeah, and my boy was like, "Nah, man, that's Auburn stuff." And I'm like, "Oh, you
It's
know,
like it's like moving to Compton and you got the wrong hat on. You had to get right with the dress code and the lingo and the signs.
put it like this: I got down there in August of 2008, and in 2009, because that was the season 2008. Alabama was like, right?
Yeah.
In 2009, I went to a Alabama spring football barbecue,
Okay.
and they had a bigger party than any Super Bowl party I had ever seen.
Yeah, the SEC get down for a spring game.
For a spring game, they were barbecuing, they was frying fish. Everybody brought a dish. They was playing cards, and when the spring game came on, everything stopped.
Everybody had to shut it down.
Shut it down. They wasn't cooking no more. They wasn't grilling no more. They were watching the spring game. No more cards going on. They cut the music off, and I'm like, bruh, it's a spring game. We don't have to watch every single. They hanging on every play, bro. They believed in Saban when he got down there, and they started winning instantly.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't got away. We didn't got away from Lions stuff.
Way away from it.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that.
I don't know either, but
Shout out to Jahmyr Gibbs.
Shout out to Gibbs. Shout out to
J Mo.
I told you. I told you Gibbs was a good pick.
We should have. Yeah, okay.
I told you we should. That was a good move when they made the
shout out to Branch. Shout out to Branch.
They made the trade to get Gibbs. I told you it was a great move.
Hey, we need to draft 10 more this year. I don't care what position they play. Because we hit a lick. We hit a lick with Bama players.
I'm gonna say this. I've been watching the mock drafts. Those corners are gonna be gone by pick.
We'll be drafting in the second round, essentially.
Yeah. They're gonna be Kool-Aid and the other corner are gonna be gone within the first 20 picks.
We are a top 14. That's
we're not used to this. We want a top 10 pick. Right?
Nah, no, we don't.
No, I'm just saying, like, usually we need this pick. Right?
Yeah. And it still feels like we do.
Well, the thing is, and I'm gonna tell you, out of the things we need, pass rusher and corner, we can get those very good positions later in the first and in the beginning of the second.
Don't have to.
Don't have to. And from my understanding, there's some free agent money, right?
Oh man, that's when it's really gonna get spicy. Is free agency first? It's first, right?
Free agency is first.
That is an appealing
free agency is
factor.
First.
The fact that free agency is first.
Now there's a bunch of pass rushers on horrible teams that are leaving. I would like to see that position addressed. The other end.
Yeah. With solidified, proven talent. Please.
Yeah, if you can go into free agency and get that corner or edge rusher you need, then the draft is just, you know what I'm saying? You get a development player.
Icing on the cake.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, I got a question. Did they deactivate Teddy Bridgewater before the game?
Deactivate him?
They said something about he wouldn't be playing.
I know he missed practice and it was like a personal reason.
Yeah, they said that. But they said he wouldn't be at the game today.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's something personal. I mean, the fact that he announced his retirement at the end of the year, like in the middle, knowing that we had games to play, and the fact that they said that he, I guess, missing practice for personal reasons, isn't all that eye opening. But
no,
that's interesting. That's interesting that our backup quarterback was not even dressed to play. But I'm not even, I'm not going to get too deep into that.
Well, Foster, who would have thought that your starting quarterback would go through 2 whole regular season without missing a snap?
Why did you even mention that?
I mean, it's true.
I know, but yeah. No, I mean that's crazy.
I mean, Brock Purdy. You can say the same for Brock Purdy, except he got hurt in the last game of the season, the playoff game, and he sat down this season. But other than that, he's been predominantly healthy.
Oh yeah, Brock Purdy got real hurt last
year. Yeah, but he didn't. He wasn't. I think he was at the beginning of the season. He was the 3rd string quarterback.
The start of the year, yeah.
Yeah, he was the 3rd string quarterback. So hey,
yeah.
We've been very, very. Goff needs as much as when he makes a mistake, we get on him. He's been pretty dependable.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's some people on the team, some starters that have missed games. And they don't they're not necessarily in there every snap.
Right.
Goff's there every snap.
Yeah. He's more protected though. Like
Yeah,
he's not taking the hits
he's
that
not taking the hits.
Jameer Gibbs and Montgomery are taking.
Did you
Or
see the scramble? It looked like he jumped in the
one of them.
4-3 speed.
One of them. One of them. Yeah.
It looked so he looks so uncomfortable running the ball, man. It's just
I appreciate not having to deal with a gunslinging quarterback, though. I appreciate knowing that for the most part he's going to make the right read and get it where it needs to be without doing the goofy stuff that Jordan Love did to cost them the game.
yeah. Well, that about do it for today. We don't like to go over an hour, and we're right there. So before we get out of here, Foster, do you have anything you'd like to say to the people before we get out of here?
San Fran, San Fran. The only thing between us and the Super Bowl.
Imagine
This
that.
is a very winnable game. Just handle that business. Just handle business. Just handle it.
Imagine that. Foster, I got to tell the people where they can check us out. You can catch us on the YouTube, the Motor City Metrics channel. You can catch this shows and our other shows. You also subscribe to our new channel, which is Bleachers to Speakers, and that's on YouTube. Subscribe to that. You can also check us out on any of the podcast streaming platforms. All you have to do is go to places like Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and type in Bleachers to Speakers, FFSN, hit the search, follow us so you can get the alerts on whenever a show drops, and download the episode. That's all you got to do. Keep this thing moving. Foster, I want to wish you a very good evening. Have a great night. Richard Foster says, great show, great game. Go Lions. Thank you, sir. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm going to say we'll be back to do a preview show in depth. I'm going to do my scouting now on this 49ers team. I'm going to watch every game they played this year.
Are you?
No, I'm not.
I was gonna say.
Kid me.